day in the world of cricket today. Kevin Pietersen has resigned as England captain. Peter Moores has been sacked as England coach, and Andrew Strauss has been put in temporary charge of the side. What's your initial reaction to today's developments, Jim?
Well, initially I suppose surprised in that it's actually happened, but then again it's been brewed for quite a while. I think it's a situation that could have been avoided a long time ago. I think the ECB have been remiss in not being the ones to sort this all out. They are the management, it is their job. And I think to an extent both Pietersen and Moores have been victims of circumstance. Moores obviously appointed Pietersen as the right man for the job, having been given the job of Director of Cricket for England, if you like, a while ago now, about 18 months ago. So obviously there was a mutual respect of people's abilities. But the real issue here, I think, is their inability to get on with each other. The harmony in the dressing room, I think, has been seen to have its ups and downs, but then again, doesn't everyone? And I think that this has just escalated. I think the worst thing about it is the fact that it's been aired in public, and that really, I think, is where the blame lies, in that the ECB should have foreseen or would have known that things weren't right, and should have taken steps to nip it in the bud, so that we hadn't all been party to the pantomime, dare I say, of who's in and who isn't.
Andrew Strauss has been named to take charge for the West Indies tour. Is he the right man for the job, or put another way, did the ECB have any other outstanding choices to give the captaincy to?
I don't think the ECB were looking any further. I think they were happy to appoint Strauss. He will be taking it, I'm sure, with a sigh, in that he would have preferred other circumstances to take the job. I think he was unlucky not to have had an extension to his previous tenureship when Michael Vaughan was injured. He's got a good record. He hasn't lost as captain, so that's positive. I don't think that the ECB really need to look any further. He's a proven player in both one-day cricket and in Test matches.
I mean, what's happened today is hardly the right sort of thing going into an Ashes summer. Certain people have said that this has made England cricket look at something of a laughing stock. Is it a view you'd go along with, or is it perhaps being a little bit harsh?
I think that, as I said earlier, I think the whole thing has been a bit of a sad pantomime, an unfortunate set of circumstances. I'm sure there are a lot of cricketers, a lot of national governing bodies around the world who are watching this with, I'm sure, with a half a smile on their faces, but then also it has warning signs. Don't let it happen to you. We appear to be very good at showing people how not to do things in this country, and again, that's something that we're forever fighting against. We fight opposition teams, but we also have to fight this sort of internal battle and expectations of how we work with each other. As I said earlier, I think that the real issue here is the Moores and Pietersen relationship, which was never overly strong. Pietersen, was commented as saying, "I'll do it my way." Well, that really should have been warning signs from day one. If he was going to take the job with conditions, then either, if you agree to the conditions, then you've got to change the structure, or else you say, no, here's how the job's going to be, and work with it. And that, again, should have been something the management should have worked with both Pietersen and Moores with, to ensure that there was a happy family.
New coach, new captain. Moving forward, is this an opportunity for a fresh start with perhaps wide-ranging changes for the England side?
Very much so. I've had a little thought about this, and I think we really did have a fantastic opportunity here to be quite forthright, or shall I say quite positive about how we look at our structure of English cricket. Because Andrew Strauss is happier in Test matches and one-days, yet very happy for him to lead the country in those forms of the game. If we look back sort of 6-8 months to the 2020 debacle in Stanford, that really was our first chance of saying, well, hang on a second, why are we playing this? And who do we pick to play in these matches? It's gone from being a game that's been a fun game to a worldwide phenomenon, global competition with lots of money available. And I'd personally like to see sort of a pencil line drawn between the two forms of cricket. I think it's a great opportunity. For example, here's one for you: the Hong Kong Sixes team plus another 4 or 5 players, some of whom could be playing for England currently, maybe Flintoff and Pietersen, and make that your 2020 team, which is a fun, vibrant, a vehicle for players to see a way of playing at the highest level, but without the pressure on the Test and one-day players to feel they have to adapt. It's not their style, They've been brought up with a different form of cricket, and I think that will be my eye for the future. I'm going to start putting up my new 2020 team now that I think can win us the World Cup.
Just one final thought, Jim. Obviously, Peter Moores has now ended his 20-month reign in charge of England. Who do you think might be appointed as the new coach, or who would you sort of like to see installed?
Two things there, I think. One is that do we actually need a coach? And we have a batting coach, we have a bowling coach, we have a fielding coach. I'm sure we've got physios. We've got. I mean, there is such a structure now to Team England, if you like, that really it's a manager. It's a manager, and if the captain's going to lead the team on the pitch, then they need to have a fair say in matters. If you look at other countries, the successful team captains are the ones that lead and have a big say in matters. Having said that, the way they work with their coaches is the important issue. This is why this situation has come about. I don't think we need anybody, is my first instance. If we did have somebody to bring the coaches together, it has to be someone who's good at man management, because that really is the job, is taking the snippets from each of the coaches and then working as a team of coaches to say, right, here's how we, Team England, are going to play, here's the plan of attack, captain, there's your players, there's your team, off you go. And that's how I think really how it should be.
Thanks very much, Jim. England leave for the West Indies on January the 29th, and I think that the players and officials and everybody behind the scenes will be most relieved when they actually get down to playing.